This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. We have one of our greatest friends in the comedy world coming back. You've heard him on the show many times. He is a very talented comic, actually one of the very few American Indian comics, working both cruises and casinos, but he's here on a new topic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, and trying out some new material, Marc Yaffee. Marc, thanks for joining us on the podcast. You know, both of us have been dealing with our parents lately. What kind of situation have you been dealing with?
Well, a couple. My dad passed recently. He was passed at 95.
My condolences.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been a few months. He had a good run, and 95. But this is crazy. They live in a senior apartment, in a senior community. When he passed away, they put in the newsletter, Bud Yaffee died unexpectedly at 95.
Unexpectedly, because at 95 we had hopes for a long future.
No one could have seen this coming. How old are the people living in this facility? Was it Methuselah from the Old Testament living there, raising the curve?
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, we're joking about it, and of course, I'm sorry for your loss, but 95 is a great old age. My father passed a couple of years ago, and he was 91, and, I feel like after 90, you're kind of on bonus time. In fact, my grandmother made it to 103, so, but still, when she passed, nobody said, "Whoo!" Nobody saw that coming.
Right, exactly. It was pretty strange. That my mom has announced when she passes, she wants to be buried with one of these talking headstones. I don't know if you're familiar. They take a traditional granite or marble headstone, they cut out a little section, they put in a motion activated waterproof digital speaker with up to 4 hours of the deceased vocal recordings.
Oh,
I'm like, are you kidding me? 4 hours? This lady's been lecturing me to death for the last 50 years. Now she'll be lecturing me after death for another 50 years?
Oh, there's so much potential problem with that.
Could you
that's
imagine
what she wants to do.
It'll be just this litany of grievances. I mean, I'll walk up there, it'll just be, you finally came to visit me. Nobody brings me flowers. They don't mow the lawn. Your father won't talk to me. I bet you didn't get a haircut. Wah, 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 wah.
It's just like the old comics where wah, 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 Charlie Brown and the teachers. But, right? That's a horrific idea, a talking headstone, because exactly, no one's going to put a recording like, "Wow, thanks for visiting my grave." It's going to be, "Where the hell have you been?"
Really? You could only spend $7.99 on flowers at Cost Plus Imports?
Oh.
You brought me plastic flowers?
Yeah. Oh man, the pain, the discontentment would be eternal. Apparently.
It's tough. It's tough having older parents because my mom's she's got a touch of the dementia now. That's a tough one. I think I'm handling her dementia pretty well because I had a college roommate that dropped a lot of acid.
She had some experience.
Yeah, I don't know. I know your family has dealt with some of the dementia issues, and it's like they say that every day is like 1 year to a dementia patient, which makes sense because my mom reads the newspaper 365 times.
That's because it's fresh and new every hour.
Right. And then another thing with the dementia is kind of sad is a lot of dementia sufferers claim they're being robbed. They have that paranoia that people are stealing from them. So in the last 6 months, my mom claims someone took her iron, a throw rug, a cake mixer, and a wall mirror. I'm like, what, is someone trying to open a bed and breakfast?
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that because we did go through dementia with my father-in-law, and he was a retired sheriff's officer. But you're right, the paranoia really gets to him, and he was certain that stuff was missing. And, of course, we'd find it in his sock drawer or under his pillow because he couldn't remember where he put it. But I think, and the other thing that we're kind of joking, but it's serious too, is that what they are missing and is important to them have no value. Nobody wants their bedroom mirror or their iron or their lamp, but they feel like someone went to the effort to break in their room and steal it. when they could pick it up at a yard sale for a nickel, right?
Right. Well, my mom also claimed they stole her $135 casino money out of her armoire. And about 3 weeks later, they came and put it back and felt so bad. There was $175 in there.
Well, there you go. That's better than going to the casino.
I want to find out who these robbers are, so they'll break into my house. Here's my address.
It's dementia with a profit.
Dementia plus interest.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I'm so glad that you brought up the topic. You know, ladies and gentlemen, dealing with your older parents and dementia is a very, very challenging part of our lives as we get older. And I just want to remind everybody that it's important to take care of your loved ones, but please take care of yourself first, because you can't help them if you're not taking care of your own mental health. And Marc, I'm sorry about the loss of your father, and I know it's difficult taking care of mom, but we appreciate that you bring in a little comedy to a difficult situation. Thank you for that.
Oh man, that's what we have to do though. That's when things are tough topics and awkward situations. If you can laugh a little bit, and it's not to mock them over this because it's a tough situation, but you have to have some release, or else you're going to drive yourself crazy in the process.
Yeah, and I think that's been an important part of stand-up comedy all of our lives. It's a way to kind of laugh at ourselves and relieve the tension of life. Well, Marc, it's always a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Thanks so much for sharing a little humor and a tough topic with us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on a cruise ship, cruising the casino circuit, or at clubs near you, keep an eye out for the name Marc Yaffee. You can also see him on Dry Bar Comedy. And Marc, you have a great website too, right?
I do. It's laughwithmarc.com, M-A-R-C, because my parents couldn't spell.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us today. Stand-up comedy, your host and MC, Marc Yaffee. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.